This is the Rays POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Tampa Bay Rays, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello and welcome to another victorious edition of the Tampa Bay Rays POSTCAST, your spot for instant Rays reaction after every single game. My name is Jonathan Shields. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at Johnny10Shields. I will be with you for every single one of these games, period. If you guys are in the live right now, make sure you leave a comment. We will get to them at the end of the episode like we always do. And this one, we're going to be talking about what a homestand it was for the Rays. We're going to talk about how Drew Rasmussen, I think, is an all-star. Then we're going to look ahead to the Houston Astros series. But first, we're going to talk about how the offense produces again.
This is what you'll be talking about.
The offense during this homestand, let me just read you out what they scored. So 3-8, 3-3, 13-7, 2-5. So again, they're not the most flashy offense, but they produce in the biggest times. And in the first three innings, I mean, the Twins, I thought to say outplaying in the first three innings, but the Twins I thought were the better team. Yeah, they were putting together kind of better at bats, even though Drew was really good. The contact was just a little bit harder. And then, the Rays turned it on in the fourth inning. And I think the swing from the top of the fourth to the bottom of the fourth is the turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
The defensive plays that Junior made in the top of the fourth, and then the way that the Rays finally figured out Pablo Lopez in the bottom of the fourth is the turning point, because you go from only having one hit and then Brandon Lowe blasts another one. He's on fire, 11-game hitting streak for him. He now has 11 home runs on the year. Just absolute fantastic stuff out of Brandon Lowe. So then we go to Junior, and Junior made those two incredible plays. And then when he gets up again, you're like, oh, we didn't even know if he was going to come to bat with him. He might have to get taken out of the game. No, he comes up and he blasts another home run. Just like that, it's 3-0. And that was the biggest turning point of this game, because you go from the Twins are putting good contact on the ball to boom, they're down 3-0, and then Drew Rasmussen just pitched the life out of them the rest of the way. And, the Rays aren't flashy with their offense, right? They grind out at bats, and then they wait for you to make a mistake. And when you make a mistake, they make you pay. And that's exactly what happened. And I don't know if something was communicated to the Rays and their hitters kind of going into that fourth inning, but man, like after Pablo Lopez was cruising for the first three innings, and then the last two innings, he was struggling. I mean, the Rays are putting together high pitch counts on him. I remember like Cameron Meisner had 11 pitch at bat. So just the group as a whole were really finally putting together some more good at bats. And then obviously it was topped off with the Brandon Lowe and Junior Caminero home runs. So I mean, just what a homestand it was. 7-2 on this homestand. The Rays in the last 6 games only gave up 8 runs. I mean, that is just elite level stuff. And not to mention, some guys have been struggling in the bullpen, got out of big jams. Uceta got out of a big jam in the 7th, Montgomery in the 8th to preserve the shutout. And I feel like I was thinking about this. So the Rays had 2 shutouts at this homestand, and they shut out 3 teams since last Saturday, because they also shut out the Marlins. So the Rays, they went through that stretch where they used to get shut out all the time, but now, I mean, they haven't been shut out since May 7th, and the Rays are putting together just, again, that speaks to the offense consistency that's kind of reappeared from the Rays. So again, just what a homestand, and much needed. Again, I said this yesterday and the day before. You got to think where this Rays team was coming into this homestand. They just lost a series to the Marlins, who's one of the worst teams in baseball. They lose the first game in the Astros, and then boom, they're right off 6 in a row. Now they've won 7 of 8. And it's just perfect timing. Now they're a game over 500 going to Houston. And if you can split that Astros series, you come back home and you play the Marlins, again, I mean, you're in really, really good shape. You play the Rangers and the Marlins, and even though the Rangers just completely obliterate the Rays, then you get the Marlins, and you should win that series. So it is just, again, just really good. And I cannot tell you how much needed it was, because we talked about this yesterday. The Rays, after the loss to Houston, were 21-26. Now they're 28-27. I mean, that is just an incredible turnaround. Sole possession of second place in the East, or I don't know if it's sole. It should be sole, because I think Boston lost yesterday, but they did lose yesterday on the Yelich walk-off grand slam, which is crazy. But sole possession of second place. They're only a game or 2 out of the wild card, and just like that, this lineup is really starting to come together, and there's more reinforcements coming. The starting pitching, now the last 8 outings, has just been fantastic. And again, there's more reinforcements coming when McClanahan comes back. So This team isn't even at its peak right now, and they're playing some really good baseball. And you start to see where this team should be with the talent that it has. And it really makes you smile if you're a Rays fan because of the potential that this team has. Because Rays teams, they're built on pitching and defense, and pitching and defense for the most part wins in October. You're not going to win a World Series unless you have some elite level pitching as well as hitting. But I think the Rays really did a good job to address that. I mean, you look at the game today, and again, Yandy just keeps on struggling, man. But you look at Cameron Meisner, who's probably not going to be on this team, or maybe he was been playing really good, but still, he's not going to play every day when the roster is healthy. You look at Taylor Walls, who's not going to play every day when the roster is healthy. Everyone else, except for Yandy, got on base. You have Junior 2 hits, Aranda 2 hits, Josh Lowe 2 hits, and obviously you have the Brandon Lowe big home run. Like those are the core. That's the core along with Yandy, but he'll figure it out eventually. Then you bring some Kim in, Jake Magnum, and Chandler Simpson another good day as well. He looks better in the field every day. So, I mean, just this really optimistic time if you're a Rays fan right now. But we're going to talk about just how good Drew Rasmussen is and why the Rays should have multiple All-Stars if the All-Star break was right now, right after this. This episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in. Your personal CFO giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So you stop just managing money and start building wealth. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. So, again, if you guys are in the comments, make sure you leave a comment. Also, leave a like and subscribe. If you're watching the replay, make sure you leave a like and join us live tomorrow. We'll be a little bit later live because the Rays will be on Central Time tomorrow playing in Houston. But before we talk about Drew Rasmussen, let's get to Drew Rasmussen. Let's get to our player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
And I'm going to do co-player of the games. I think it's more than deserving today. First one is Junior. We already talked about Junior. The 2 plays he made in the top of the 4th and then hitting the home run in the bottom of the 4th. I mean, that's just legendary stuff. He has 10 home runs before June. Just really big-time stuff from Junior. And then, obviously, what more can you say about Drew Rasmussen? Another 6 innings shutout baseball. That's 3 straight. And his last 18 innings pitched, he's only given up 9 hits, 0 runs. I mean, he has just been elite. Today, only 1 hit. He walked 1, and he hit a batter. That is it. He was shut down after that. And, he is – if the season ended right now, if the All-Star break was right now, him and Jonathan Aranda should both be All-Stars. And if the Rays keep on winning, they deserve to have multiple All-Stars because Drew Rasmussen has been the best pitcher in baseball over the last 15 days. And he deserves more recognition. And I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to pioneer that train to give him more recognition because he has been phenomenal for the Rays when they really needed some stability in their starting pitching. There was just not enough good things to say about Drew Rasmussen. I thought his cutter was really good today. Obviously, when you're going like he was, kind of everything was working for him. So, again, just really good to see, especially from where he was last year. Normally, it takes guys a little while to get their arm going back a little bit, right? I mean, we see guys who need a year. Look at Sandy Alcantara with the Marlins. He's been pretty bad for the Marlins. And you look at Drew, he's been able to bounce back from that injury and be better than what he was but when he got hurt. So, I mean, just not enough good things to say about Drew Rasmussen. There is no pitcher I'm more confident in giving the ball every 5th day than Drew Rasmussen. He deserves to be an All-Star, and if the Rays keep winning, they deserve to have multiple All-Stars. So let's look ahead to the Astros series. Is coming off the Rays having a 7-2 homestand. A little look around the AL East. Boston is tied with Milwaukee again, 4-4, and then I believe the Yankees and Toronto will play tonight. Toronto's in Texas. New York is in Anaheim to play the Angels. They've won like 16-19. I would really prefer if the Yankees would lose because the Rays feel like haven't really even made up ground. But tomorrow in Houston, Shane Baz coming off a really good performance will face Ryan Gusto, who is a right-handed pitcher for the Astros. Gusto's 3-2. So let's take a look at his last few games. So His last in May, he has a 9.7 ERA. The Royals touched him up for 7 runs and 2 1/3 back on May 12th. But his other outings, he's only give up 2 runs in May. So that's kind of his outlier start, because outside of that, he has given up 3 or less runs every single time. So he started off as more of an opener. He's not a guy that's going to go super deep. His furthest he's gone in a game is 5 2/3 innings. But he's a guy that's going to go at least the first time through the rotation, or through the order, because that's just looking at stuff. His pitches: 79, 30, 68, 27, 90, 80, 68, 72, 15, 42, 29. So it looks like they kind of started to build him up more since the beginning of the year. So he's been pitching better lately after giving up the 7 against the Royals. But I would say the Rays definitely have the pitching advantage in this one. That's with Shane Baz, who's now 4-3 with a 4.9 ERA. But his last time out, 5 2/3, only 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts. And he was really good, because before that, he gave up at least 3 runs in the last 4 outings. So, his ERA in May was a 7.8, and that includes the 1 earned run given up. So he had a tough May before his last time out, and let's see if he can build on that, because he did not face the Astros the last time. So the Astros will be facing him for the first time this season. And, with Shane, he faced the Astros back last year on August 13th, and he went 7 innings, only 3 earned, 6 strikeouts. So he has had some success. He faced him actually twice last year. The Rays lost both games 3-2, ironically enough. But in the other outing, he went 5 1/3, only give up 2 runs. So the last 2 times against the Astros, he only given up 5 runs. And, especially against a team like Astros, you want your guys to go out and give you quality starts. So if Baz goes 6 innings, 3 or less runs, the Rays should be in a position to win. So now we're going to get to the comments. So if you guys are in the live, make sure you drop a comment. We will get to them right now. Jack's Take said, Drew put on a clinic. Next time, let him cook for 7. Almost crashed there in the 7th. Yeah, I mean, he's still on that pitch count. He hasn't gone more than 6. I would have loved to see him go for a 7th today, because his pitch count was in a really good spot. I mean, we go back to Drew Rasmussen. I mean, he did this 6 innings and 74 pitches. I mean, that is just efficient. His last 3 outings when he's gone, when he's been really good, it's been 88 pitches, 76 pitches, and now 74 pitches. So, I mean, just elite level stuff from him. As we go to Lucas, says, great series win. Rasmussen has been nails. I like the decision pulling after 6. I have to make sure his arm stays healthy all year. Uceta and Montgomery scare me, but they got the job done today. And Uceta more than Montgomery, I was really happy that he was able to get out of that inning, because he needed a clean inning more than anyone on this roster right now. So, yeah, he is much needed in this bullpen if the Rays want to go deep. If you go to I Love Legos, it's great win. Says, unfortunately, we'll be in Orlando this weekend when he takes on the Astros. So no Rays game watching there. Hoping we sleep the Astros. Hopefully, still join the live. We always like having you in here. As we go to Mike H. He says Walls leads the league in defensive WAR 1.6. Yeah, I mean, he's the best defensive infielder in baseball, and it's not close. And I don't think that he is going to go anywhere. When Kim leaves, I see people like, oh, he's going to be DFA. He's not going to be DFA'd. He'll just be a depth piece, kind of like what he was. Unless he might be DFA, but I don't think so, because the Rays value what's it called? The defense and base running pretty much more than any other team in the league. So I think he's going to have a role like he had when when Wander was up and he was the everyday shortstop, and just kind of like that. So we go to I Love Legos. Said, sad to see Rorfet go, but I'm excited for Thias. I'm pretty sure that's how you say his last name. Yeah, I mean, Rorfet was a great person, but he was not good this year. And he said it's like it's sad to go, but you understand the change and why it is needed. As we go to Mike H., I said I like Meisner in center field. He ranks top in Major League Baseball for range. You can tell he's a rangy guy. He can cover a lot of ground, and he's been the everyday center fielder. So when Mangum eventually comes back, it's going to be soon. So, Rays have a tough decision to make, but it's a good problem to have. As we go to saying my boy Brandon is hot these last few games. Let's go. He is, and man, we literally talked about it when. Let's take a look at at Brandon Lowe's game log recently. Brandon Lowe has an 11-game hitting streak, but he has hits, more importantly, in what is that? That would be 14 to 15 games. And I mean, he is taking his average from 190 before this stretch starting on May 13th to 250. I mean, that is an unprecedented jump. And in this stretch, he has 6 home runs. So it's just what he's done has been nothing short of incredible for the Rays right now. As we go to Tony, says good Wednesday. First time commenter from Tony. Always like to shout out the first time commenters. Gabriela says, I love a series win. It makes my heart warm. Makes my heart warm too. I don't like when the Rays lose. And we talked about yesterday. This was a big game today because, how are you going to respond after the first loss in a while? And if they win today, if they would have lost today, it would have kind of taken the wind out of the sails of what was a fantastic homestand. Instead, they punctualized the homestand just with a massive win, and it was pretty dominating after the first 3 innings. So again, just really, really good to see the Rays get this done. So again, Rays go to Houston, start a 4-game series. So no off day. The Rays have a 4-game series starting with the Astros tomorrow. So again, the Rays will. I feel like tomorrow's a game the Rays have to get because then they play Valdez on Friday. And even though the Rays again have hit better pitching, elite pitching better recently, Framber Valdez I feel like has always killed the Rays and is a lefty, and we know the Rays struggles with lefties this year and last year against the Rays. Framber, he pitched on August 12th. He went 5 2/3, only giving up 3 hits and 1 earned. So I mean, just I feel like every single time I see Framber pitch against the Rays, it is just kind of utter domination. If we go back to 2023, he did not pitch against the Rays. But again, I talked about what he did last year against the Rays and so again, he's always just been a tough matchup. More recently for the Rays actually got on pretty good in 2022 for 6 earned. So we'll see what the Rays can do. In that one, Yandy had 3 hits. So it was talking about a guy that needs to get going. Yandy's a guy that needs to get going. In that game, Harold Ramirez, he was a goat. I loved Harold. Had 2 hits as well. But before we go too far down the rabbit hole, we'll get to one last comment with Mike. He says, Blue Jays manager complained about the heat in Tampa. Any manager, any player that complains about the stadium, I think is just so ridiculous because both teams are playing in the same stadium. It's Florida in May. It is going to be hot. Newsflash. I lived here. I've lived here my whole life. I assume if some of you guys don't live here, that you've been here before and that you know that it is hot. It is no secret that it is hot in May. So if both teams have to play in the same ballpark, same conditions, I think any complaining about a ballpark is just utterly ridiculous. But again, let's recap. Big win for the Rays. They finished homestand 7-2. Again, the Rays are now 21-2 when leading after 6 innings. I mean, just elite level stuff from the Rays. And guys, don't look now. Rays are really starting to put it together. So I appreciate everyone that joined live. If you're watching the replay, make sure you also leave a like and comment, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night.